Hey, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of Inside Britball. It's the podcast. We're talking Div 1 this week. We've got our usual Aaron here, but we are joined by the wonderful and statistically fantastic Paul Teague, who's dropped into the guest seat today. In fact, he was our, if you remember, in the last episode, had a too legit to quit section. This is my guy. This is my short-term romance for the next few weeks in terms of his league stats. So I want to have a chat with him. But most importantly, we've got you here. You, the listener, you, the viewer. Great to have you with us. We're going to talk about Div 1 tonight. We're going to unpack the weekend. We're going to go off down tangents. We're going to find rabbit holes. We're going to find badgers at the bottom of them. And hopefully by the end of this podcast, you will be none the wiser than you were at the start, but you will have a smile on your face. It's great to have you here. It's great to be part of this. And we're going to kick off with a very quick introduction, obviously from Aaron, who the listener who's used to the show should well know by now. His longevity and service to the IBB community. But then after that, we're going to introduce you a little bit to Paul, who we're really pleased to have with us now. It's just great to have you here. So listen, Aaron, before we go and we forget you and you feel neglected and unloved, you were my long-term bromance. Please, by all means, let's start this as awkwardly as we mean to continue.
So I'm ditched, basically. Is that what you're saying?
Basically.
I'm ditched. Okay, fine. I know where I
For 2 weeks. For 2 weeks. It's like a holiday romance. Okay.
Right, okay. Fair enough. Just to be clear, though, I don't need to do a formal introduction, do I?
No, just want to know how you are.
Okay.
How's Kiwi? What's going on the Welsh border? Has anyone tried to kill you after the last podcast? The usual stuff. Standard.
I'm still here. Kiwi is fine. I'm good, as you can see. I'm wearing my top today, so I'm going to divide opinion, no doubt. But
after the HNC just tuned out, after the HNC just left.
Yeah, possibly, if not more. But I mean, to be fair, every time I go to Scotland on the game day, I always put the little English Celtic kits on, and I don't get much grief, mainly because I hide behind the little one. But no, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, and obviously, as rightly pointed out, we are joined tonight by Paul Teague. Now, Paul is going to tell you a little bit about himself. Those who are complete novices to the game, they probably won't have come across you before, Paul, so we might have to start with ground zero. But for those of us who are connoisseurs of the wonderful community that is flag football, dog, you're a baller. So, Paul, welcome to the show.
It's a bit of an introduction, that one, isn't it? So I've been around the league for about 7 years now. I was quite late to get into flag, but I am the head coach of the Honey Badgers in the Midlands Division. Play safety and quarterback at the minute. I'm very sore after I came there yesterday. Unbelievably sore, more than normal for some reason. We only had 2 games rather than the 3. But no, I was a massive American football fan, Carolina Panthers fan for my sins.
Kiwi, my wife's a Panthers fan, so
we just got rid of one of them,
I'm talking way back. I'm talking pre-Cam Newton here, like 2 seasons before Cam Newton. So
okay.
I wasn't jumping on the bandwagon for that long. But big fan of the game. Happy to be on here with you guys. Excited.
Now, you've been about the game a little while, 7 years, but you've also played at various levels within the game. We've seen you up and down the divisional structures as a proverbial yo-yo. But also you've had some involvement with the GB setup as well, and you've been around the game. Now, before we go into those things, and maybe part of that journey, you say quarterback and safety, and to a lot of the viewers and listeners, that's kind of like, obviously the polar opposite positions, but in many ways, there's a great symbiosis between the two. To be a great quarterback, you've got to have the mind of a safety. To be a great safety, sometimes you've got to have the mind of a quarterback. You want to tell us a little bit about your straying through the wilderness of flag football that took you to the eventual position of head coach of the Honey Badgers, and also in this kind of, I'm not sure which one I am anymore, I'm just going to do both and lead the stats in both columns.
Yeah, it was really weird. So a long time ago, many moons ago, I played for Leicester Eagles, which is kind of now a branch of Leicester Huntsmen. And we got to the national finals. And I remember meeting a guy through normal football. He used to play semi-professional football. There was a referee and a player who I played with who introduced me to flag. And they were like, oh, we play. And I was like, yeah, I'd like to come. And they were like, yeah, whatever, some guy just saying it. And I was like, no, seriously, I would like to come. And Mick Smith was the quarterback back then. We got on Mick, give him a shout out. And there were 6 of us. That was it. The whole team was 6 players. And we trained 2-on-2. We just did walkthroughs of formations. So I kind of had to learn both sides of the ball. And safety was something I kind of preferred, being a defender in normal football. I kind of like the defensive side of it. Never had a quarterback brain or idea of what to do. But we got to national finals way back when the old system was there. And it was Aberdeen, Sheffield and Cardiff Hurricanes. And I think Cardiff won it. And I kind of took a bit of a break and then moved to Nottingham. I lived in Thailand for a bit, came back here and picked up with the Honey Badgers who were down the road and got into playing alongside Sam Andrews at safety. And yeah, it kind of took off from there. Got put up, I think I won the award for interceptions for the country for that year, and then got noticed by GB and asked to come along to what was Super Fives back then. And then slowly got into that and then had a couple of years, a year and a bit doing that, and then got old. COVID happened. And then, yeah, we did really well for the Badgers. We got promoted that year. I think we set that at the time a record for points that scored. I think that's long been broken now. But we got relegated, unfortunately, just life, as every team has, players leaving, jobs, things like that, getting injured. And then we went from the Prem back to Div 1. We had a couple seasons where we had like a 6-win season, we had a 2-win season, and then we lost a lot of players. So I just kind of took over the ranks a little bit. And then our head coach left that year, and I kind of got asked to take over from there and done it for the last 2, it's my 3rd season doing it now. So yeah, it's been a weird process. It hurts the next day playing both sides.
Yeah,
I can tell you that. Yeah, I can tell if I've played a tournament or played NFFL. If I just play one way, I can tell the next day I played one way only. The body's not as young as it used to be, I'm afraid. But no, yeah, it's been an eye opener playing quarterback and having to learn stuff. As you say, like that knowledge of the defense kind of helped me a little bit of looking where to throw, reading coverages, who should be open, who's on the turn. It's been a challenge, but it's been one that at the moment so far we've done quite well with. So,
well, I mean, you have, and to be fair, you know, like I said at the start of the show last week, you were my too legit to quit.
Thanks for that.
Bit of a cheesy one, but hey, look, you know, I think you're on 8 interceptions now this season. 3 of those are pick sixes. It was a 4-3 ratio after week 1. That was insane. 75% taken all the way back to the house. 8 and 3 still rare. Stellar. I think you're leading in both those categories in Div 1 at the moment. Although the stats are yet to be updated, so if anyone takes offence to that, please, you know.
I try not to check. It's the thing I don't. As much as my team don't believe me, I do not check the stats until the last game day, and I try.
I check them all the time. I got all your stats there. And
I try not to look at them. I try not to get involved because it would just get in my own head. I might look at other people's in the team, but I don't look at mine or anything to do with that at all. So, no.
Well, they're good stats. They're very good stats, and I think the reflection of seeing them on both sides of the ball, you know, kind of shows that I mean, if you're hurting the next day, then it's because you were working. And certainly by looks, I mean, so it's great to have you on the show for various reasons. Okay, there's a couple of categories. One, absolute baller. Interested in that. Secondly, 12 years today since I got my first and only ejection from a flag football game against Honey Badgers. And thirdly, but probably it wasn't. Thirdly, most importantly, because Kiwi, Aaron's missus, has been after merch forever. And we thought if we got you on the show, we put you in an awkward spot. And I know that you don't handle that, but have a word. That boy's name. Yeah.
I can only apologise on behalf of the Nottingham Honey Badgers for the delay in merch and stash that's coming your way. I'd like to blame outside sources for this, being quite honest. So
It's an alternative. Yeah, go on.
To be fair, I'm sure she approached someone at the last finals. I'm pretty sure she did. She's got that much bloody front that she has. I'm pretty sure, because I think there was a little kid running around with the Honey Badgers top on the finals. I remember her pointing, going, "We need that for James."
Yeah, there's a couple of players who've got kids and they've bought little jerseys for them all. But I think it was quite
more
rare.
fun than Blackpool. More fun than Blackpool. And that's Kiwi. But yeah, sorry, Paul.
I was saying because I think rightly, I can't remember many teams that played in purple like for a long while. There's a few now, Keesham playing it, and there's another couple of other teams that have got purple that are new. So I think it was a bit of a rogue kind of colour, having like the Viking-y like purple in it. But yeah, I will get onto our kit man, and I won't name and shame him, but and then hopefully we'll chase that one up and see how it goes.
Well, we have an alternative approach in this show. You know, we don't, people don't bribe their way onto it. We get them on and then we beg them. It's like that. Come on, dude, give some stats, man.
To be fair, Kiwi would be more than willing to pay, but so don't worry about that. We're not asking for freebies, definitely.
Absolutely. Now, the second of those two reasons that we gave up for, which was loosely linked to an ejection against the Honey Badgers in June the 3rd, 2014, almost 12 years exactly today, in Calderdale. Apologies. Out of this week, okay, we have a news section here, so listener, if you're still waiting to score, just bear with us here for a moment. Out of this week, bit of a message from BAFA, reinforcing the importance of having two teams involved in the refereeing set-up of games. Interesting talking point, because as I was saying before the show when we were all in the green room together, the two things you hear after game day are, first of all, people talk about the results, and then immediately they move directly on to, the refereeing. And it's either a good or a bad, but it's such a key point of the game because we referee our games ourselves. And I think BAFA touching on this week and reminding everyone it's a two-team operation makes me think maybe that there are game days where people are like nipping off, teams are nipping off, and other teams are getting the whole responsibility. Yeah. That is a big thing, though, isn't it? And Paul, you talk about playing both sides of the ball. So I imagine a game for you is the entire 40 minutes, okay? And then you come straight off that and you got a back-to-back refereeing shift. Yeah. I mean, it must be hard to be mentally focused, going from all of that concentration to then having to concentrate all that a lot more. What do you think of that kind of setup?
It is hard. We had a player last couple of years who was our main ref. It was kind of me and him that would kind of do it, and this was back before they changed the rules. So we'd both like take it in turns, and we've got someone right now who does the head reffing for us, who does a great job. Joss is really good at it. He's taking time to all the courses that we got sent, level 1s and level 2s and stuff like that. And I sometimes do it, he sometimes does it, but we had this week with teams cancelling appearances to turn up. So we should have had 6 teams turn up, 5 teams turn up, 6 teams, and 3 of them couldn't make it. So there was only 3 teams that turned up to our Midlands division game, and that was the Bears, the Coventry Panthers, and ourselves. So we had to ref as a team. So we went game, ref was our schedule. So we had to ref the Coventry and Nottingham Bears game, and it was just us because circumstances outside of our control. It was just us, and I know that has happened other times. I also know that and understand that some teams travel a long way. There's always generally one team that's come quite long. Now, we have that team in our division, Waveney, which is down near Lowestoft, and it's somehow linked to our division in the Midlands. And it's an effort for them to get to us and to get anywhere else. I know they're struggling with players at the minute, but if they've had a 4-hour, 3-hour drive to us and then their game ref, or game break and then ref, I understand why conversations happen. And I think the teams that we've played in the north, like your Rotherhams and your Leeds and teams like that that come into our division sometimes, and the Leicesters and all that, we have an agreement. And Lincoln will have a chat and just say, if someone's got an issue, we will just try and swap them around on the day. If we can sort it before it happens, that's even better. But sometimes we have a chat. But it is hard. And then you get the shouts of down many years of teams that you're in a title push with that are refereeing you, or a team that you've just absolutely smashed that are reffing you next, or the teams that you're about to play next. And you do get that, and it is a bit inconsistent. Generally, the head refs, I found, do a great job. We've had issues recently in an NFFL game. We've had issues in a BAFA game. We've refereed against us, and you just try to be calm and approach it, and people lose their heads. I am one to get a bit fiery on the pitch. I will generally act very feisty. I like to think I'm a nice guy off the pitch and I'm approachable to everyone, but I kind of switch on and I can give it back and stuff. But I think it's more the side judging personally, because obviously you have to have a qualification to get the head reffing thing. But I think it's more the people on the side that's where it kind of gets let down. And if we do have a 2-team system, that's great. So I've seen it work fantastically well. But sometimes I've seen it not, and people not knowing the rules or understanding things, and is that a loss of down, or is it just a 5-yard penalty?
And pressure as well. I think you're less experienced, but you can get influenced quite a lot
if you're on the wrong sideline. Yeah.
So I just wanted to, it's great to get a perspective on that, especially after this weekend we had a very contracted game day, so you're having to do a lot of that, and we know that pain. I just thought it was relevant for the listener, because that'll be one thing that even though Aaron's like, oh man, you promised me less than an hour tonight, we're 15 minutes in and you're still talking about refereeing. But I'm telling you, that'll be the one thing that people go, we can all agree on this. We can all agree. And I think we all love it. I'll leave that with and I can understand the losing your head thing, because, there's a lot of truth in the saying, show me a good loser and I'll show you a loser. You know what I mean? And it's an unfortunate truth. It's very difficult to separate a highly competitive instinct from just going, well, sports you go win it. That's not how it rolls. When you invested heart and soul into a game, that's just not how it rolls. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's how you look as well. I think how you come across as a team. Like when it's getting a lot more professional now, which is really good, and the game's progressing. But we used to referee with a beer in our hands and voice the game, and we had our team was #Don'tCare, and we'd run and celebrate with the team who scored. Like both teams. And it was all like that. And obviously it's got a lot more, and we know the rules and we play it by it, but like it's obviously got a lot more professional, like you say, it's the consistency that I think all teams suffer from that. So
I guess the tip at this point as we move into the next section, Aaron, is that as a benchmark, we should all be drunk. And if we're all drunk, then things are going to work out, because drunk guys generally do the same stuff. Yeah, it's like, okay. Right.
It's a bit like playing pool, isn't it, or snooker? When you've had a beer, you're always better. So
yeah,
I'm not against it.
Right. Okay. And on that, I think we will go into the table. So for the listener and the viewer, 18 minutes. I don't know how. Anne's probably going to chop up a whole bunch of my talking. But like right now, for the people in the studio, we're 18 minutes into this. They're probably thinking, "Come on, just give me." There we go. I'm going to start this time. We are going to start this out. So, Aaron, you've been conspicuously quiet. Do you want to lead us off into this journey into the Welshlands? As you offended most of Wales last week, you can start figuring yourself out from there, right?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, all the Welsh teams are my favourites in this division. So, no, I'll start off. I mean, where do we start? Huge wins and a statement win, I would say, for Gwent Gators in terms of 31-20 over Keynsham. I think they're probably the most balanced team in that conference. Exeter Falcons with some big wins, dangerous offense, that obviously says. And then obviously won't rule out Keynsham. They're explosive, but they fell to the Gators. So I think, they're going to have some making up to do on that. I think what I like about this conference is there's a lot of big scoring games. So there's like 40 plus points scored quite regularly. Unfortunately, then getting down to Ronda Redkites, I know they're obviously a budding team, first season this year, but sadly they conceded quite a lot. Probably in and around, and we'll get to these other teams, but in and around the same amount of the Astrals and Teesside in terms of total points conceded so far, anyway, this season. So, I mean, we're talking 200 plus points. So, yeah, it's been a tough season so far for them. I can't see it getting any better, but again, I'm sure they'll admit that well, this is a development season for them while they're new into the league. So you can only really go up from here, and I hope they do. So for me, this conference, 3-way race: Gators, Exeter, and Keynsham.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. And I mean, week 1 through to week 2, we've not really seen that pecking order change. Going still at the top. You've still got Exeter sitting in their second, Keynsham chasing it up. The only thing I think we really will see is that flip between the two Welsh teams, Cardiff and Swansea. So it's very hard work for Ronda at the bottom, and that is that.
Yeah.
But those three are the powerhouses. And for me in the Southwest, it's pretty much, it's going to take a small miracle, even though we have a long way ahead of us, to not see one of those three prevail at the end of the season. In particular, shout out to the Keynsham Kings, who are absolutely awesome at giving you match day results. I never pitched that. I followed them. I'm just sitting there on Instagram 6 o'clock this morning. Like it. Thank you very much. You're great guys. Paul, do you know any of these teams? You played against any of these guys down the years, sir?
Firstly, I'm a big admirer of the Keysham's kit, fellow purple team.
Excellent.
It's a very, very nice reversible kit they have down there. The white,
love.
The Persian, big time. The Gwent Gators, we have played them in the playoffs, and we've played them at a couple tournaments. They are a solid side. They really battle hard. Lots of good players, lots of good ability. Just a really good ethic. I'm not surprised to see them near the top again. I think they've come a similar position to us, where they've just missed out the last couple of years of promotion, but they're always one to watch. And like I said, I'm not shocked seeing them doing very well so far.
Yeah. I think they're going to hold on that spot without. So, well, there's going to be some battles. Obviously, it's going to be, and I'm absolutely expecting to see that. But yeah, that's those. In fact, those three. Let's just keep it like that. It's a Goliath task to try to overcome them. So, with the Southwest on screen for the viewer, who should probably be wearing glasses. If you look at this on a mobile phone, this is going to be a little bit tight. It looks like a whole lot of points scored, as rightly said. In fact, across that, we averaged 46 points per game in this conference this week, which means a lot of good football. So, a lot of football going each way. So, not great for the table standings with this. And we can go into the points conceded that I think everyone mutually has a mild disdain for as being a separating factor in tables. But all the same, highly competitive conference, and certainly between those three. Anything else on this one before we go to the sunny southeast and talk about all things relative to old London town?
That's it. Nope, nothing from me.
Nothing from me.
All right, apologies, Southwest. That's all we've got for you. Southeast,
we might get this done in an hour. If it's like that.
I'm committed, mate. I'm different shoulder on this one. Sorry. I'm going to start with another great love affair that I found this weekend, and that's with Rebels B. A lot of respect for Ali, their captain, who in the very early hours of this morning was sending me results and things. So Ali, massive shout out to you. Commitment to the cause, awesome. And the interesting one in this, before we go anywhere, is we had 3 games that ended with exactly the same result. So we had a Rebels Wolfpack game, 26-25. We had an Exiles Rebels game that ended 26-25. And then back to back with that, we had a London Blitz game that ended 25-26. So I don't know. I had checked the scorecards 3 times. So I was like, obviously, somebody drunk referee. Paul's explained it all. A drunk referee is recording. This is just going to it felt like 25-26. But I mean, that is a contentious conference right there when you're getting so many games by narrow margins. Not just a delight if you go OCD, but that's a real. So let's pick some stuff out there, Paul. I'm going to throw you under the proverbial inside Britball bus, because you've now been on the call for at least 20 minutes. So you're more than comfortable leading a conference table. What stands out to you from this table that you see in front of you right now for the Southeast? Is there anything that pops?
The thing that's popping to me is the Isle of Wight Raptors. I've not heard of them. I don't know. I'm not sure about their history, if they're kind of new or been a year old. I've literally never come across them before until looking at the table. But to put up nearly 250 pieces and then just to lose marginally is pretty solid effort. It's pretty consistent. that stands out to me. I mean, London Rebels obviously scored 26, 25, and 31. That's pretty consistent too, to be honest. This is the one, like a couple of the divisions that I've never really played against much, is kind of London-based Southeast. So it's kind of new to me. But yeah, it looks like a tight division.
Yeah, Raptors are great. They've got top of that table now, I believe, as a result of this. And I don't want to get ahead of myself, but you're bang on there. Adam, what do you take from this one? Because that is an interesting emergence, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I've got in my notes this division is a chaos division. That's all I'm going to call it. There's multiple like one-score games in it, but there's quite a few new teams in here, so it doesn't surprise me. But yeah, I mean, shout out to Kent Exiles, 3 wins, including the tight one, the 26-5 against London Blitz. They'll have enjoyed that because I know they have a friendly rivalry in the contact world as well, them two. Isle of Wight Raptors, obviously, as you've mentioned there, but slipped to Marauders, which was strange. And then even the Marauders are surprising me in that 50-13 win over the Renegades, plus beat the Raptors. So they've had a good day. I think London Blitz are struggling, unfortunately, but for me, this is the most unpredictable division. Games are being decided by moments, not dominance, which is good to see for the spectator, definitely.
Nah, it's a fair observation, and I think they could call out as you made about the Exiles, rocketing from 5th in the table, so 2nd from bottom after week 1, found themselves in the one finding expression for 2nd place, the Brides group for the end of week 2. So great step up from them. There's a lot going on here. We're talking a 58.8% average score per game so far this season across all game days within this conference, which is second only to the Div 1 North 8 in terms of explosive games. And you're right, this is a great place to watch football. Raptors, man, where have you come from? Seriously, like, if you want on the show and you've got good merch, you know the drill. We'll get you on. We'll beg off you.
I haven't seen that merch.
No, not seen it.
No, because they are new this year. So
so they are new this year. Yeah.
There's quite a few new ones in this. Please correct me if I'm wrong, any of the listeners or watchers, but I'm pretty sure that Kent are new, London Blitz B are new, Raptors are new. So there's quite a few new teams in that division. Marauders have been going for a bit now. Rebels B, I think, did they come in last year? Could be wrong on that as well. But
on Blitz, though, tough day at the office. They came very close to the Exiles, and the Exiles are a good team. I mean, we're talking 1 point difference here for the listener, not the viewer. That was 26. That was one of the 26-25s.
Yeah.
So Blitz coming in real close to a really good outfit. And you would have thought that they would have had their tails in the air thinking we can take on the Rebels, but then the Rebels won the Battle of London on the day 31-7. London Rebels B against the Blitz, captained by the wonderful Ali. Just saying that, I'm going to keep plugging that again because I'm going back to that rich vein for information as the season goes on. But I think the East as well. East as well is looking great. Southwest, Southeast looking good. Let's go and disappoint ourselves by looking at the Midlands, where I think 3 men and a wet dog turned up to have a game of football. This one's all on you, Paul, bro. This one's, man, this is all on you.
It just
because of your stats. Your stats ruined it. Nobody turned up because of your stats. I'm not going to turn up and give that guy pick 6.
I like to think that it's really not the case, but it does look quite depressing looking at that. I did see that on Instagram earlier, and I was looking at it, and I was just like, it just looks so bad. So many 1-0s. Yeah. We understand. We got emails about the reasons of why, and some are very well known, some aren't very well known, and they're understandable. We get it. But I will basically say well done to the Bears. Like, even though it's a rivalry between us, obviously both Nottingham teams, like, they showed up, they balled out. Same to Coventry. Coventry turned up as their home game day when actually Army was a completely different team near enough. I think there was only a few players from the first game day that came to our place. And that game was really exciting. It was quite close in the end. But it was a good time was having everyone. The Bears Coventry game was the last one. We were obviously reffing that one. That was really tight. There's a few calls you had to make in that one, but the Bears just pulled through in the end.
That is tight. That's squeaky, isn't it? I mean,
it was
by the benefit of one team getting one of their 2 extra points, I guess. Looking at that score spread, that's a battle. That's a battle.
Yeah, I think it ended on a 4th down just over. It was on just getting the first down. I think it was off a 4th down play. They just squeaked over with like a minute left, and they just ran the clock. It was that tight. But yeah, no, we had a good day. Our team, we've got some fantastic players on offense, like Jamie, Joss, Coombs in there, Kyle as well. They're just such good, reliable receivers. Our defense, we've had to work on a lot this year. We've lost a lot of players. I don't know what other team cycles are like, but we were defense heavy for years and years, and then the last few we've lost a lot of defense. It's our offense that are keeping that ball rolling, and we're doing well. We're holding up. But yeah, it was just disappointing not to play, because you want to play the games and you want to get the personal stats, you want to get the scores, you want to get everything, have a good time and a good chat, and to have all that sometimes taken away is a bit disappointing, but it is what it is.
But Aaron, you might want to go next, but I just think it'd be remiss if it's not. I know it's difficult to talk about your own team. I hate talking about volunteering.
Yeah.
But you're doing a great job. I mean, I think we were talking in the last podcast how exciting it was beginning of the season. We were talking about high hopes for you. You get out there, you're doing business, you're taking care of it, it's great to watch the Honey Badgers, because you're an absolute, you're a known club. You're a permanent feature of the league. You're one of those teams that people look for, you're standing up to your reputation. Aaron, I'm doing everything I can to get free merch off this guy. Do you want to step up for that?
Yeah, no. I mean, look, at the end of the day, obviously, you guys are the dominant force in that league so far.
So far, I might say so far.
It can always change, and not that I hope it changes. I do for the sake of spectators and the neutral people in terms of that, but sometimes you just got to sit back and enjoy what you're seeing, especially in the scores. I mean, to be fair, yourselves are always the ones that, certainly in my head anyway, is always an expectation to be there in the playoffs and such. So it's looking like the same, even though they're slightly different in terms of qualification this year, but I still would expect the same, I guess.
Yeah, we've got a lot of...
Sorry, I was going to say, can we talk about the anomaly of a team that doesn't turn up, that goes from 5th place to 3rd place, Leicester Huntsman? By not turning up, they climb 2 places of the table. Yeah. Now, I'm Neil Warner. If you're listening, bro, that is a genius stroke. That's tactical, but I mean that's a kind of crazy situation. Sorry, but it was one thing I just wanted to call out.
It was literally what I was about to say. It was you took the words out of my mouth. It is a case of, like, say, people have got reasons and teams have got, whether it's player issues, financial issues, what availability, no matter what. But like, Leicester's always been a good game for years and years and years, and we've had a good rivalry against them. Same with the Bears. We haven't played Nuneaton. We've played them in OFL. But they did quite well on their first game day, so we think that's going to be a tricky one as well. Like, we're not counting our cards or anything. We obviously have a cross-conference division games to play yet as well. There's some good teams in there, so as much as we're doing well, we'll see. We'll hopefully it continues for us. Obviously, being biased, it's not as easy as it seems. But like I said, I think sorry before, like, the Midlands seems to get a bit overlooked for teams and that kind of stand out there. Always challenging. Lincoln, Rotherham, obviously Sheffield's classed as North, but they've been in our division for a long time. Leicester, obviously, Coventry, Nottingham. There, like, everyone's been around. There's not many new teams in our league. Never really have an influx of there's 3 new teams this year. They're generally all pretty well round, pretty stable. So that kind of helped a bit, I think.
Yeah.
We'll put a pin in the Midlands, Aaron, if that's all right. We'll come back to it at the start of June. 1st of June, we should get a little bit more colour and flavour in this after the next round of game days, which for the innocent fan, because I'm sure there must be at least one person who listens to this who's like, I don't even play flag. I just like old guys. So I'm going to hang out in this podcast, right? So for that weird person where you are, like, seriously, the weekend, the 30th, 31st is game week 3. And I think then we're going to see a lot more movement at this table. Everyone's going to be back to football. Hopefully, everyone's going to be back to football, and we can be able to see a little bit more in the mix. But great start to the season, Honey Badgers. No doubt about it. You're turning up. You're taking care of business. Let's take a look at that as it goes on. So now we take our boat and we sail offshore and we go into the North Sea. As I put it last week.
Yeah, I thought that was a good gag last week, but anyway.
It was great, mate. I was laughing all week at that one. I kept on dropping that all the time. So, Aaron, you're the captain of the ship when it comes to the North Sea. Do you want to start talking about your Corsair pilots, or do you want to start talking about your Roosters? It's all over to you, bro.
Yeah, no, just for a bit of context, Paul, we've questioned on many occasions what a Corsair is, but it's a pirate. I'm not entirely sure if you was aware. We'd looked it up, it's a pirate. So,
didn't know that.
A French pirate.
French pirate.
Yes. Yeah. You get a lot of them in Huddersfield.
Yeah, renowned for it.
The pirate. So go on, Aaron. Do you want to lead us out with the North Sea, because I feel like you do own it because of that fantastic dad joke last week.
Okay. I mean, well, we've got to start obviously with Longhorns Black. Obviously,
right.
Dominant wins. But interestingly, held to an 18-all draw versus the Roosters, which is interesting. Obviously, the Roosters as well. They also had some huge wins. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this shapes up. I was going to say ship shape, but I'm not. In fact, I've just said it. So this is terrible. This is a terrible dad joke.
Mate, you're not sinking. Don't worry about it. Just get in the next wave.
Let's get out of this hole. This is terrible. Paul will never join us again.
Right.
Anyway, competitive.
That's the feels to the wind. Let's move on.
Oh my God, it doesn't get any better.
So many.
Sorry. He's cut that over.
Yeah, I'll edit that. Don't worry. I'll edit it. Sheffield Giants, Iron. They look all right. Strong wins versus Orange and Sentinels, but I think all eyes are obviously on the Roosters and Longhorns Black, and see how that shapes up as the season goes along. I think it feels like a finals preview, if that makes sense. It feels like a bit of a, the way they've played so far. But anyways, yes.
Great game, the 18-18 Longhorn Blacks, South Houston Rockshire. An opportunity for Black to go top of the table had they won that one. So it keeps them still in a 1-2 situation. But to see that the top of that conference is so tight, that's a great one. This feels super competitive. I'll be honest with you, the North Sea, and it's also the lowest yielding points yield per typical game. Was just 43.8. Paul's going to pretend he's like, wow, this is a really dull start, but I'm going to keep hammering it all season.
This is good. I didn't know that this was that was fun.
I measure stats. I told you I'm obsessed with this stuff, right? So 43.8. And not least of those low scorers, the one between the two new kids. So Huddersfield Corsairs, the Pirates came sailing down the M62, came down the big hill, all the way to Stockport, and lost by what looks like a touchdown, but could have only been that unless it was 3 safeties, to the brand new Stockport Sentinels. That's a great, yeah, 2 brand new teams, great match. Looks like it's going to be a rivalry too. Tight game. Love to see that return fixture, because I think that's going to be where the Corsairs are going to be looking for the blood this year, and where the Sentinels need to defend the ground. And it's I think that to me stands out. I love to see those kind of games, because you think to yourself, 40 minutes. You're not telling me that was just 3 and outs all the time. That there'll be some good defensive play. I'm going to take a look at the stats. I want to see how that one panned out, but that's good on you. Meanwhile, though, the Roosters, okay, they do sit in the top position for a reason. You got a 41-0 there, you got a 51-13 there, and then the 18-18. Rudy and the boys, obviously, just setting out their sail, if you will, in the North Sea, and I think they're going to be a real challenge. Is it just me, whenever you see Sheffield Giants Iron, that you want to say it's Steel City? Why isn't it Sheffield? I mean, okay, fine, I'm just being really petty here. Yeah, I mean, forgive me in my history lessons. But it feels weird saying Iron. We talk about Sheffield. And I really shouldn't disrespect them because the Sheffield organisation are a great organisation. They've been around the league for a long time. I'm sure that they're going to dig their way out of their current situation, which isn't terrible, to be honest. I mean, but still seeing them sitting in third behind Black and Roosters, I'd like to see them press on and step up a bit. I'd like to see that come into more of a 3-horse race, to be honest.
Can I just answer your Iron question?
Okay.
Steel is primarily iron.
Okay, so for somebody who studied chemistry at university, this is a really embarrassing moment. Okay, this is why I didn't end up in chemistry, isn't it? Okay.
Sorry, Nick. Okay. Sorry. I didn't mean to discredit you live on air.
Mate, that's fine. I think you just qualified the opinions of a lot of school teachers. Like, there you go. That's why we said. And Nick Weston.
Do you know how much steel? How much iron is in steel?
I'm going to guess more than 50%. How's that?
98%.
As if I say it's going to be high.
I'm better safe. I couldn't go wrong twice, Paul. That would have been real bad. Really, that much?
Gosh, well, I'm coming across like a real know-it-all here. I've just googled it.
A proper blacksmith.
Yeah, I've just googled it. So, but I knew steel was 2 metals, but I wasn't sure which.
If we're going to go down the chemistry channel, we could throw some really, really bad dad jokes, And this one's out there for anyone who knows the noble gases.
Surely no more.
No, I've got terrible ones, man. The noble gases, you know what I mean? Oh, man, the noble gases. 2 guys walk into a bar. They see Argan up at the bar, walks up to him, says, "Hey, you Argan, you're a clown." Argan doesn't react. Anyway, moving on.
You are
okay. That was all I learned from chemistry.
That's terrible.
That's fine. That's fine. You can all look that up. Argon's a non-reactor.
In fact, I'm contemplating booting you out. And taking
I think it should. I'm going to send Ben. Should we go to the north? Should we go further north, or slightly across the way? Should I say to Division 1 North B, which we have seen a lot of movement in this past week, and I mean a real lot of interesting shapes and shifts. With the Calderdale Iron Horses going from a dominant first place at the end of week 1 into 4th by virtue of being slayed by the hands of their very own club. The Locomotives stepped up and put the new kids back in their place. So let's start there because I'm sure that Chris and the lads are going to be interested if we kick off there. So Calderdale Locomotives 27, the Calderdale Iron Horse 19, formerly number 1 team after week 1. And now the pecking order's been readjusted. Big Brother turned up and there was a crack round the back of the head there. Go on, Alan.
I'm just going to say we were questioning which one's the. I know some teams don't have an A and a B team or a first and a second team. I know they are sometimes A and B, but we were questioning the other week whether which one is the primary team of Calderdale, and I think when we were looking at it, we were thinking, are the Iron Horses the primary team? They've renamed themselves, but I think it's clear now, and I think it'll probably stay clear as to who the primary team is. You say they've put them back in their place, I think.
Yeah, James and the guys at Calderdale Local definitely making sure that they know exactly who's who around there. And equally too, right after that on the table for the listener, we have another local rivalry, or not a rivalry, it's a brand new team, Teesside Thunder, but taking on the undefeated Steel River Stingrays, who remain undefeated. Drew Magnet, great quarterback. I don't know if anyone's played against him, his listeners. This guy can drop a dime. Do you know what I mean? It's like, and he can drop a dime. But I think they're undefeated so far this year. So another one there. They smashed Thunder 30-0, which is a brand new team, Thunder. So I'm not. It takes a year or two to get your feet on the table. So let's just, let's show some respect there. That was your second, your second of your local rivals. What else we've got in there that's of any interest? I don't know. Paul, is there anything that's jumping out to you when you're looking down those scores and thinking, I would have liked to have been there?
West Yorkshire, Warthogs. So
this guy.
Yeah, we've played Calderdale in a cross conference a couple of years ago. We've played Steel River Stingrays and we played the Warthogs. And the Warthogs was, I think, one year we went undefeated in cross conference, and the other year we lost one, and it was to those, the Warthogs. They are a very, very cracky team. They are very, very underrated. I think they were my pick coming out of here straight away, to be honest. I looked at them going, I don't think they're going to be stopped. But the Stingrays are doing a good job at the minute, and they're keeping toe-to-toe with them. But they were I'm not shocked to see them up there at all.
Breach. Yeah. We said this last week. It's a team that gave up a lot in defense, though, because their offense was being so efficient. They scored a ton of points in week 1. But when you're scoring a lot in offense, it means you're off pitch a lot of the time. Your defense is on. You naturally yield some scores. And I was saying this was one of the things that frustrated me about the points conceded role. Because a team like that, that's the kind of football you want to watch. And 68-13, just another great example. Warthogs against Teesside Thunder. That's a reference to the listener. Warthogs. We played them too. Paul. They're a good football team. They know how to play some offensive football. Yeah. So we're all loving that. Newcastle, Shadowhawks. Difficult day out again. To be fair on this, but hanging in there and definitely putting up the scores and taking a lot of gained experience from Winter League. They played north of the border a lot through the winter this year. They've sharpened themselves up a lot, but still finding it quite difficult to get the wins in this fairly competitive conference. To be fair, I'm not going to bore you with the statistical spread of points in this, unless you look desperate for a double stat.
Yeah. How do they compare to the others then?
Well, okay, thanks very much for asking.
They must be high.
Yeah. 3rd out of 7. Good guess. Well done. 51.6. Yeah. 51.6 per average game. 3rd highest, which leaves us with the arduous task there of me boring you by going down in order, which I'm not going to do. But they're the 3rd highest out of 7. So competitive conference, high scoring conference, lots of fun. Lots of fun. Yeah. And I think, look at this, mate. 47 minutes. You will rue the day that you said I couldn't do this in an hour.
Just wait till the end. Wait till the end.
No, we're all right. I think we can do this. Dear listener, I think we're almost there. You're going to get through your lunch break today. It's going to happen, guys. It's going to happen, right? Let's go to. We were at this game. On my days, we were at this game day. I commentated this one in Bellevue Stadium at the weekend, which was an absolute delight because it was horrible weather outside, and sitting in that warm little box next to Twiggy, it was a joy.
You had a box?
Oh, mate, you've never seen it. It's great. It's really professional. Like, you up at the top of the stands, you're in this kind of glass. It's like a proper commentary box. Sit next to Twiggy, we had all the snacks. We had it all going on up there, and it was a joy. But it wasn't so much in the pitch from me very own Order City Centurions Gold, our new team in Div 1 this year, who in the rain in Manchester, I had a horrible flashback moment. So 2 years ago on finals day, we got knocked out. We went down into the plate. We were in the semi-final of the plate, and we're like, we're coming home with this plate. We're playing the Ravens. We've beaten twice this year. We're going to beat them. We're going to get the plate. We're going to come home. It's going to be like, I think you won that year, actually.
We watched that game because we played.
It happened again, mate. So Wilkie, right at the end of the game, decided to go on a one-man quarterback scramble and take apart the defense and win the game. And he did it again. We lost out once more in the rain in Manchester. So the Ravens, credit to them. Credit to them in general. I mean, they turned up with quite a small squad, very good squad, though, very compact. They caught up business and they thwarted us once more. But obviously the Bombers for the standout of the day, winning their games very close, though, I'd like to say. They came closer than they wanted to against the Ravens, just winning out by 2. Some good games to watch there. Some really, really good games in the day. World Vikings, actually, if we're going to be honest, they were the team of the day for me because they really played some dang good football. Credit to Buddy, credit to Joe Leyland, credit to EP Sport, who you'll see in this. Plug. But that was my take. And I'm just talking about that one because I was there. Okay, but if you want me to shut up and then maybe pick apart some of those, if you want to savour Remington Stingers against the Ravens, what a match.
I was just about to say, I've never seen a score that high. I saw that as 120 plus points is ridiculous. Like, was anyone playing? Was it 5-on-1? What was the defensive like looking from that angle?
Nuts. It was ping pong. We were actually playing basketball. They just said, let's just have a get. Yeah.
Was it just 50-yard bomb, back 50-yard bombs continuously?
Yeah, pretty much. It was really distracting too, because we were filming like pitch 1, and then just behind it was pitch 2. And this was going on in pitch 2. And you just kept on looking at pitch 2 and like, oh no, I've got the silence on 3. You got the ball. It's like, oh, yeah. What a game though. I mean, like, the Ravens did prevail in it, but credit to the Stingers, because the Stingers had a pretty tough start to the year, and then they went out and said, we can score on you, and that's really going to make a mess of the Ravens' average points conceded potentially later on in the year. But Paul, man, you would have loved it, because you like throwing and intercepting. You would have loved the game.
Yeah, if the ball's in the air, I'll try my best to grab it, but that it just looks insane. Like, I think obviously everyone, what was the lowest score? What, 21 on the day?
Yeah,
that's incredible that the lowest score was 21.
Yeah, that was my team, thanks, mate. But yeah, go on. Yeah.
that was one of our wins. That was one of our second highest wins. Like, that's a ridiculously, like, that division. It just looks insane to play. Like, this, I will not be surprised if a lot of the stat leaders come from that division, from any team.
It's crazy. It's crazy, and it is 67.5 points on average per game throughout the season so far. Yeah. It's 10 points ahead of any other conference in terms of, it's just ping pong. It's just ping pong. Aaron, sorry, mate.
I was just going to say, I'd be amazed to see where Joe Leyland comes out on these stats, because he, offense and defense, constantly is the key player on don't get me wrong, Buddy's a great QB, but Joe Leyland plays both offense and defense, always makes plays, doesn't matter which side of the ball is on. So yeah, I'd like to see those stats. So when you're doing your stat thing, Nick, have a look, see where Joe Leyland is on there.
I know Joe got a bunch. He got a bunch of touchdowns against us. He was getting all over the place, finding great space, doing what Joe does. Just doing what Joe does. He's really good at just a guy that size. How does this guy that size sneak between the safeties so many times? It's like, really? It's like Shrek freaking sneaking between two safeties. You're like, how did nobody notice this guy is in the end zone? Like, ignore me. I'm only 6'7" or something ridiculous and look like a 5 times. But he was there, man. He was there, and he was doing it. And Joe Leyland's credit to you, mate. I think on the day, and I'm going to stick my neck out here, favourite player to watch on the day across all the games. I did watch all the games because I had to, because I was at work for you lot.
He was knackered by the end of it.
He was getting this future bromance right there.
I'm being replaced already.
Well, I tell you, man, I'm already playing the long game, man.
As you can see, Paul, he's a bit of a floozy in terms of his bromances. It doesn't.
I only do this. My wife's like at hospitals and hospital shifts. She's in the house right now. She'd just be like, "Please, just listen to space. We'll close the door."
It is a good division. This it is. It's like high octane, great to watch. I'm glad that again, credit to Manchester Titans, one for letting us letting you loose on it with the commentary, which I must say, to be fair, I haven't listened to it all. I've listened to some, and you did a pretty good job, to be fair.
You know what it goes well with? 5 beers. Drink 5 beers, said great. It's like that, man. The more you drink, the better that commentary sounds. Okay, but
I mean, it's always good when you can watch and when teams can stream. It's not easy to do, and obviously an organisation the size of Manchester Titans, from a contact and a flight perspective, obviously have a lot of the equipment and the venue and etc. to be able to do it. So it's good to watch when it is. So thank you, Manchester, and thank you, Nick, because it was good watching. I still haven't finished watching them all, so I need to watch them all. But I feel like, when you watch Match of the Day and you know the scores now. So that's my problem now. So, but I will watch it.
Aye. No, this conference is one to watch. Yeah, no, I don't want to discourage people from the first 7 minutes is complete blackout by Lee Casey. We didn't get the camera working, which is ironically when Kev Clark scored his touchdown, Kev from our team was fuming. I was like, I couldn't get first 7 minutes. So like, literally, you missed my touchdown. You know?
I agree with him on that. That's one thing that's we don't film many of ours. We kind of rely on one of the subs or someone to kind of film it on the phone, and there's always something missed that's an incredible thing to go. But I think if one team has one game day where their defense shows up and they get them under the 6 or a 12, I think whoever it is going to be favourite, whether any of the teams. I think it just requires one game day of 3 wins, 3 scores under 12, around 12 or 6, and I think they've got it, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
Can I make a final mention, though, before we go to Highlands? And that is this game, they had a whole lot of teams that were represented with women football players. Absolutely brilliant. And I mean, brilliant. Our MVP of the day, Lucy Rowlands, I'm just going to call her straight out right now. Rolo was undoubtedly our offensive MVP, and she was making plays. There was even a tip ball at one point that she managed to snag in a ridiculous situation in amongst 2 defenders. Deep touchdown passes, everything. And it just reminded me that everything that's good about flag football. It was an absolute joy to watch. And credit to, I think some of the Titans had new players through Tia, for a fact, it was her debut. First play of the game, bang, there's 15 yards, put that in your back pocket. Do you know what I mean? And it was really good for football. High scoring, great participation, terrible commentary. Turn off the sound, watch the video, you'll love it. Okay. Right, shall we go to the Highlands and see if we can just be as gratuitous about that as well? Oh man, something happened up there. Apart from Murray looking great, Aberdeen slipped up to Glasgow, and now, they're now the heir apparent, if you will. Murray obviously still at it, but Glasgow Killer Bees have come back with a sting in the tail, if you want a good pun. Anyone want to take that one apart? Anyone want to take that one apart? I mean, start looking at that table. These guys are 3 game days in, so I don't, it's not the same. It's a little bit more evolved. But Glasgow Killer Bees 40 to Aberdeen Silvercats 37 was a decisive game because it flipped the second place, the third place in that table. And a whole bunch of points conceded on both sides there. So there we go. If you want to start from there, we still see woes with the Astros, who are a great group. I mean, really great group. But they're taking it hard right now in terms of results. Gunslingers Red put 61-18 on them. And then later on the day, they had to suffer a 62-14 to the Moray Distillers. So, it's really tough. But hey, that group is really tough. You got Grangemouth, you got Moray, you got Aberdeen, you got Edinburgh, you got Glasgow. You know what I mean? Welcome to a heart feast, because this is where it's going to happen. This is the heart locker. If you're that new team, anyone want to get out the band-aids?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but my Scottish roots come from literally just a small fishing village outside of Forres, which is, I know, where they base themselves, Moray. So,
is that Celtic top? Is that Celtic top you're wearing right now?
It is. There is a link
small
there.
Fishing village just 30 miles from Edinburgh called Glasgow.
Yeah. Exactly that. I don't support Forres mechanics, but so these are my Holmer team for me. Certainly is in the Highlands, but I mean, you can't deny that. 47-0, 44-0, 62-14. 153 points scored on the day and only 2 touchdowns conceded. That is crazy. But what I will say is I think it's clear that Moray aren't a Div 1 team. And I think certain circumstances have meant that they've fallen in there previously. So as much as I love seeing them score lines, I do worry about the other teams in and around and how much it affects them, because it's gotta hurt that when you see scores like that.
Yeah, it's. I think there's a few leagues where there's a couple of standout teams, and then there's a couple where it's all up for grabs. Like I know from us personally, last year and the year before, we've had the Huntsman A and the Nomad. So we had Waveney, who originally then a lot of them went to Norwich Nomads, and they're both undefeated in the Prem, and they were now, and we pushed them to 1-score games, and we actually beat them on the last game day, and they're smashing up the Prem. They were not suited for Div 1, and it just kind of, like say, put a downer on new teams and stuff. I think, and then maybe after next year, I think it'll all kind of shuffle
balance out. Yeah, definitely.
You guys.
Sorry,
no, go on. I'm not doing my usual
conversation. I was having this conversation with the way with HNC, because we talk regularly with them in terms of that, and that's exactly what we said, Paul. And we should see it balance out over a couple of years, hopefully. But for like the Astros, who are a new team, I think, we talk about 153 points scored. I think they conceded 160 odd. I think on that game day, so it's tough for them. Really, really tough, and it's got to be tough for the players, especially if the new players. I don't know if they consist of all new or a mixture of players that played for other teams, etc. But got to be tough on them. Sorry, Nick.
I will rudely interrupt you again at another point, I'm sure. So I'll double apologise next time. You actually had a good point to make. Couple of things flipped on the table here. We've got obviously that Glasgow and Aberdeen flip. Then later on down the table, we've also got a Grangemouth, Edinburgh Red flip. So there's some stuff going on. It's a competitive one. But I'm going to call this out right now, Paul. I have a feeling you keep playing the way that you're playing. Maury keeps playing the way they're playing. Man, you're going to be real glad the Coventry's only like a couple of hours from where you live at the New Bowl Stadium when these guys turn up looking like they've travelled a million miles to play you. Because I got a funny. That's a very realistic scenario, though. That's a very realistic scenario that you see a Honey Badgers Maury game post-season. And I think, I'd take a look at the teams that have to play. Okay, if it stopped tomorrow, tomorrow and you got into that situation where it whittles down, then based on the seeding system, there's a very high probability.
High probability that
well, it's only an hour from him. It's 10 years from Morty.
It is. I think it takes me 7 hours to get there. I think.
Yeah.
I'm in Chester, so just outside of Chester. So.
Yeah, but they're used to travelling. We tried to catch them out a few years ago, and they came down to Carlisle for a home game, and we got to decide the times. We went, let's go 10 a.m. and let's put Maury on against us at 10 a.m. Thinking, but they stayed the night before, and they were grumpy, and boy did they take out. First play of the game, it was like it was a bomb that lets the pitch. They were 6-0 up within about 3 seconds. You don't do that. Don't do that to teams, But I think I'd really, if I'm going to drift off into an imaginary lounge right now. I would love to see that final. I'd love to see that final. I'd love to see Honey Badgers facing the Maury Distillers at the end of the year, because I just think the two styles of football, because I've seen both these teams, and I'm sure that you've seen each other, but the two styles of football would be very complementary. I think you get a hell of a final if that was the way it went.
They are very good.
Sure, you guys.
Yeah, well, we can be on our day.
On your day. Yeah. So, but anyway, that's only week 3 for them, week 2 for you. Long way to go. Okay, long way to go. Just calling that one out as a kind of like as one to maybe sit here in a few months from now, and I'll pretend that I predicted it, even though it was just a random conversation.
I'll check the tape.
Told you that was going to happen. Yeah. But, this is good. This is real good. This is very good. In fact, we're 1 hour and 4 minutes in, so I have bust the bank when it came to my own commitment.
Told you. You're doing well, though, to be fair. We're normally like 15, 20 minutes over, so.
Well, no, we're going to wrap this thing. Like listener, right? Okay, I know you like that, and I need to get back to work. I said I was going to take an hour lunch break, and I've burnt all my time in this. But give us 2 more minutes of your time, listener, because we're going to go to everyone's favourite part of the show, which is the good, the bad, and the ugly, where we awkwardly call out from everything we've talked about in this past hour of our lives what we consider to be good, what we consider to be bad, what we consider to be ugly. I'm not talking about presenters to the viewer, because then it's going to be a battle between me and Aaron for the ugly and the bad. Okay, but if we go with a good, a bad, and our uglies, okay, good for me. North A, that game day, because just like the guy said, 21 points was the lowest score of the day, and that was a losing score. I mean, that was just what a lot of fun that game day was. So that for me, let's do a good each, we'll do a bad each, we'll do an ugly each for a change. Okay, that's my good. What you got, Aaron? What you got?
We've pretty much discussed my good. Again, a homer pick, Moray Distillers, just sheer points scored is just ridiculous in a game day. Yeah. It's crazy. You know, I mean, 22 touchdowns in 3 games.
That's a lot. Yeah.
I'm going to go a bit left field. I'm going to go with the Roosters.
Yes, then. Yeah.
Because the Roosters, we've played against them quite a lot, and they've struggled in past years. But I think over the couple last year, they've got an ex-player playing for us who we rated very highly in Alex. And Alex is just brilliant. But drawing with Lincoln Black, I think if you asked them a couple of years ago, they wouldn't have even predicted that. And also beating 2 other teams quite comfortably, like by a fair amount of points. I think that's probably my good.
Fair.
Okay. Okay, now for everyone's favourite bit. Bad. Okay, it's like rip that plaster straight off. I'm sticking within conference results here, okay? I think and I know there's a lot of extenuating circumstances in this. I think the bad possibly was the way that it panned out for you guys with the Midlands, getting reduced just a bunch of games, not enough to be able to give any real meat in the bone. That's a lot of effort to put in, and it's grueling too, because everyone's playing 2 back-to-back games, and that's it. You're 2 and bust, and it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of effort. Okay.
Yeah.
So sorry, and that is not in any team, bro. That's not in any team. That's just when football goes bad. Okay. Right. Can you top that one, Paul? I'm going to flip the order here. You've got the bad now.
I mean,
and you can be nasty.
I'm going to have to agree, but it's a personal one of 6 teams going down to 3 in a game day. And again, circumstances are understandable. It just happens to be one of those things. But it's like hats off to the Panthers, because like I say, we weren't even playing them. We were meant to play them until like game day 5 or 6 and switching around the schedule last minute, sorting everything out, and at least putting on some type of venue for us. And the venue was great where we were, and the Bears to turn up as well. Like, credit to them. So I think that's my bad. I agree with you, I'm afraid.
All right, there you go, Aaron. Right, it's your turn. Yeah. Be brutal. Yeah. Come on, we're not cruel enough on this show. We're really not. Just call it a child. Be like, that spectator's child. Man, that kid was just awful.
I probably am being brutal, but for the best reasons, hopefully. But I'm going to stick with the Highlands Conference, and unfortunately, West Lothian Astros, 164 points. I think that's bad, really bad. So on average of 23.4 touchdowns on a day, conceding. So it's bad, but not necessarily at the Astros. So I'm going to say bad in terms of the circumstance, because I'm going to go back to whilst Moray Distillers is, scoring lots of points again, I don't think they're a Division 1 team. And I think it's a bad situation when we're in that, where we've got a team that is probably better than the conference that they're in, and a new team comes along, or a B team, assuming they are a B team, and just get battered like that. I don't think that's good. So it can only be bad.
Yeah, you're fine, but you do realise that given the fact that that's West Lothian and you're wearing a Celtic top, and I know they ain't Glasgow, but there's a high chance that some of those guys score Rangers like that. I can't even believe he's going. That's bad. Let's go and have a go at that, buddy. Sorry for everyone from Glasgow, that's really offensive.
That was a terrible Glaswegian accent.
I can't even do a Glaswegian accent, so I'm married to a Glaswegian. It's a bit savvy, but I can't do an accent. Okay. Right. From the great unwashed to the ugly. Okay, the ugly. Right, now the ugly, I know this doesn't sound right for an ugly, but for me the ugly was actually the South East because of all these 25, 26 games, right? Because seriously, when you're 52 years old, right, and it's first thing in the Monday morning and you just down one cup of coffee and you're trying to get this done before you have a board meeting, right? You look at those scorecards so many times going, somebody's done this wrong, somebody's done this wrong, and it turns out it just was 25, 26. So ugly for me was the fact that nobody had the common decency to separate those scores by a little bit more and just save me 20 minutes of my life of having to triple check those scores. Man, they were games of football. But and also the stat sheets, you could tell it was like you could tell the weather got worse all day. First stat sheet, right? You got a sun shadow on it, you can see the shadow of the player, like the brilliant sunshine inside, then gradually it's grey and grey, and then the last two, one has a few speckles of rain on them, the last one's covered in water. You're like, it's like literally you saw how that game day went. Okay. So ugly Southeast, except for London Rebels v Ali, my guy, who's definitely in the good category. Right, so that's my ugly. Which one of you wants an ugly? Who wants to head in first with the ugly?
Oh, I have an ugly. I'm going to go out on a limb as the safety position player that I am and go ugly at the lack of defense in your division this weekend. It's just ugly number. It's ugly. Did no one want to take a pick? Did no one want to do a tackle? What was like? It's like you say, incredible to watch, and I'm sure, like I say, the stuff you put on was brilliant to view it for viewers, and getting people to sport. You just show them this game day weekend and go, look how fun it is. But to the seasoned diehards and someone who likes to read offenses and get little as many tackles in, and like saying ugliest stat line, score line you've seen in ages. That was, as soon as I saw it, I was like, that's disgusting.
Yeah. Defenses had more holes than Swiss cheese. Yep. It was vile in terms of, and that goes in everyone. I'm going to take.
Oh yeah, the whole game.
Every defensive coordinator right now in Division North A is hating on me, but man, that's too much to give up. Right, it's too much to give up.
It's too much like I say, for the lowest, principally 3 scores was, every division we've seen has got 0 or a 6 or even like a 12, teens in it, a lot of them, and then that's my ugly.
Good shout. That's an award-winning shout. Although in defence, the Centurions Ravens game, you're not even going to believe this, was actually scoreless until 14 minutes of the game, and then it ended up 38-35. Take that as you wish. I mean, it was nuts. It was actually nuts to watch. But it was just like what? It was But anyway, right, Aaron. He's right though. That was pretty ugly. So,
it was, yeah.
Can you top that?
Not really. Yes and no. I can, but that means going on a massive rant and alienating myself again, which I've already managed to do that so far on last week's podcast. So I'm not going to do that. But the ugly for me is, you both mentioned it, is the Midlands game day, and I think, and by ugly I mean kudos to yourselves, Bears and the Panthers that that showed up. But I just don't think it looks good for the sport when you're seeing that and you're seeing so many withdrawals, so many walkovers and such. I think it's a shame, but hopefully we won't see that again. Fingers crossed.
Okay. Right. So we have our good, our bad, and ugly. I like this part of the show because it's pretty close off, man. We need to get far more personal. I think at least one person has to get called out to know on every side.
No, we are not pointing fingers.
Well, can we do it when we get to the national then at least, because that would just be, because you can imagine the outroar. Tell you, at least everyone can take the abuse. But mate, you blame a national player. Oh man, that's going to be real ugly. That's going to be right. Okay, tune in to the next show of Inside Britball. We will be insulting you directly. Chances are, it's 541 to 1 possibility that you're going to get slagged off on this podcast, or you can have a bromance. There you go. It's everyone's a winner or a loser in this place. But anyway, no, thank you very much to the listener. We've taken up an hour and 15 of your life. I hope Aaron's cut this down. If he hasn't cut it down, then hopefully you've at least found it in some way entertaining and you feel the urge to return. We'll be joined this evening by Paul, and thank you very much, Paul Teague. We're going to watch you with so much excitement this year, man. You're a baller. Seriously, your stats are great. Loving what you're doing off edge. No, hey, no, you're going to nose that now.
It's like if I come out the next game day with like one tackle and like 4 turnovers, 4 like interceptions against me as a quarterback, I'm going to blame you straight away.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the marker has been placed.
Yes,
it's like, you know, yeah. They have the Kirkcaldy Cup. They're getting passed around. We've got this kind of evil horror. What's it? The Harry Potter thing, the Horcrux, the horror.
The Horcrux, yeah.
Horcrux, yeah. We're going to pass around the Horcrux. You got it now, bro. The IBB Horcrux is on you. No, thanks a lot, Paul, for joining us. Thank you very much to the listener. And obviously, we would love it if you'd like and subscribe and follow us and hang out here more often. I will leave the closing this week, though, to Aaron, who once again is humbly sat there and managed to bite his lips through an hour and 15. Pretty gratuitous football commentary, predominantly by myself. Paul's been pretty decent, to be fair. Aaron, do you want to wrap the show up and we'll knock this one in the back?
Yeah. How do you want me to wrap this up? This is a surprise.
You've done it a million times. You're a pro. You're a seasoned pro. Just be like, hey, thanks for giving us merch, Honey Badgers. We look forward to receiving it. Our postal address is inside Britball at PO Box, please. Yeah.
And there you go. I've managed to make you do it for me. So that's great. On that note.
That guy. Right. Cheers, guys. Awesome. And listener and viewer, thank you so much. Cheers for joining us this evening or this morning or this afternoon, whenever you're putting yourself through this agony. It's an absolute joy to have you with us. Look forward to catching you next time. And if you hate this, please let us know how much you hate it. We'll just keep hitting that soft spot because it keeps bringing you back. And if you love it equally, wow, you are really weird. But have a great week. See you after game day 3, unless you want to tune in for our subsequent podcast on the Premier and Nationals. But it's all eyes on Div 1 tonight. It's been a great week 2, week 3 if you're in the Islands. Been a joy to recap some of those results and scores, and we are super excited to see what happens, but most of all to see what you're doing. So cheers. See you next time. Peace out.